They keep moving around the property with them. I don't know what that's all about. Let's show you what we're going to do with these things. Here's a drawing. Okay. Let's just zoom in here. Man, I hope you can see this. It's not real distinct on the camera. I don't know if it's this or not. I don't think it made much difference. This rectangular shape out here, that's a piece we're going to cut out of stainless, and it'll have this shape in here. And this is the mirror image of the or the reverse image of the what we're going to use for molding on all of our countertops all through the project. That's in the bedroom counters, the bathroom vanities, dirty kitchen. We have two more of those kitchen counters like the one we just looked at. They'll be in the dirty kitchen. This over here, this is an end plate. It's made out of phenolic board, and it's got some 2x2 pieces that basically take up space. When we get the size of the concrete, I'm going to put a 2x4 here and one up here, and these all bolt together so that you can lift off the individual pieces and end up with this cast concrete piece. And then we'll take some blocks where this board here was. We'll put some blocks on the floor and set this this pattern down. And the round part here is the top of the toe kick. This is the toe kick, and up here this will be level. That'll be the inside thickness of the floor under the cabinets. It's 8.5 inches. And we're going to fill up more of this space down here with wood. The reason being, it's heavy to carry them around and to set them more than we need. And it saves mixing concrete, saves materials. And also, if you have to cut mitered ends on this to make corners and stuff, you have to cut through this. So we don't want more than half a blade thickness on either side to cut through. We can cut from both sides and then smack it with a hammer on the waste side and pop it off. And then you have to get the diamond dry towel blade and trim it some. This stainless piece here, this whole works to be laying on this back side over here on the left, and you dump your cement and sand mixtures like mortar mix, except we use a little bit extra cement compared to mortar. Mortar's 4-to-1. We mix this 3.5-ish to 1. You drag this thing down and shove it along, leaving this shape. And you can't do it in one pass, obviously, but you're going to throw a bunch in the bottom, and then you're going to throw another layer on top. About the third layer you throw it in there, it's starting to look like the thing a little bit. Well, like it melted, I don't know. Anyway, when you come down after that and you actually start touching the material and dragging it to that profile, your next pass, you're going to sprinkle it with water, like a 2-liter Coca-Cola bottle with a hole drilled in the cap, knocked in with a nail, not drilled. And you sprinkle it with water, and then you come by with a bucket of dry cement and just a handful of it, and just trickle it all over that, make the surface white. And that way when you put the next layer of this mortar mix on there, it sticks, it bonds. And you're going to make about 5 passes that way over the whole 8 foot. And this end plate is the same shape as what we're doing. So when you get to the end, any excess just gets pushed off the end of the form. And anyway, you get this piece. When you're making these things, this stainless plate has got a couple tabs that run down on the this top phenolic board and under the bottom. That locates it up and down, and this face here in and out, so that it tracks. It's like being on rails. The kitchen countertop or bathroom vanity top It has exactly the same shape, just for uniformity in the house. Yeah, I wish that showed up better. Edit. Layers. That shows up better. That's black. Well, the other one was black too, but it didn't show up. And there'll be another stainless drag that makes this shape. Okay. Next thing we need to make some. Oh, what we're doing here is we're making the supports that goes under the countertop between the floor and the bottom of the counter. You have these uprights generally made out of 4-inch hollow blocks, slathered in render, and then skim coated, and all the stuff you do when you're working with hollow blocks. And then you pour a 3-inch slab of concrete on top of that, and that'll have some rebar in it, fit around the sinkhole, and just generally in the top, maybe 7 or 8 inches apart both directions. And on top of that, you're going to put a piece of granite. Or you can take a Richard Armstrong is building a house up there in northern Leyte. And that's the island that Manila's on. And he's doing all polished concrete. And his stuff looks so good. We're initially going to go with polished concrete. We're going to copy him. We copy a lot of people. Anyway, this slab here is the side of a form that gets used in a lot of different ways. The bottom holes are longitudinal rebars, 69, 11 centimeters, 4.5 inches on the center. This holds the whole stack of stuff together. The top ones, these are just holes that after we cast it, we're going to just put short pieces of rebar in, and then we can set phenolic board from one upright to the next, which will be what holds the concrete till it cures. Then you tap out these pins, and the phenolic board can, you hold on one edge and knock on it, it'll come down. Plus, it'll have that sitting out here, the concrete molding edge, that just comes right off, and that gives you a big wide shelf to smack with a block of wood and a hammer. There's an end piece that's going to fit in the back, and a bottom piece that's going to fit on the bottom, and a divider piece. We've got the drawings done for pretty much all this. This is all the little bits that goes into one mold. We're making 9 molds. We're going to use each of them at least 9 times. Probably 14 or 15 times when all is said and done. Oh, you didn't want to do that? Let's try again. Yeah. Okay, this is 6 sheets of plywood. Phenolic board. I like phenolic board because you just dust it with WD-40 and wipe around with a paper towel, and nothing sticks to it. And as long as they keep doing that, you can use it there forever. So we have this longish one that covers the widest countertop piece we made. And then we have some that aren't as long. This is from the wall out to the middle of the room, that direction. And then we have some that look like this first one, but these are actually taller. And the pieces on the edge up here, those go, there's part of the tracks for the, for making the moldings that gives us the edges. Nope. Let's just take an example here and look at one of them. These go under the dirty kitchen counter. I know that because the part numbers are from 50 to 58, and this is 55. So this is about the widest piece. When we go to use this, here's your bottom piece of concrete that's going to sit on the floor. Here's the top one that sits on the phenolic board, and the counter will come out to there. And then all your cabinet doors and hardware bolt to the front of these things. So this is not really 3.5 inches of under space clearance. And of course, you look at the mirror image. The actual countertop ends at this little horizontal line up here. The little straight up line, that's your depth gauge for how deep to pour the concrete. There's a piece of wood with that cut on it. You just drag it down along the top of this, and that levels that edge. And then you have fishing line to determine the rest of the things. This thing down the side here, it comes down and makes this toe kick shape. And there's a gap between these, so we can run a couple rebars clear out to this edge for support. In the bottom, this bottom piece has got a trapezoidal chunk on it, and that gives us the place to run big pipes from one side of the place to the other. But that'll be inside of the cabinet base concrete, so this will disappear once you pour the base. In the back, you have that same trapezoidal piece, and this is where you run all the plumbing pipes and stuff, like for the kitchen and the gas lines and all that other stuff. It'll be retained to the back. This is the actual piece we're making. Part number 55. That's round about the middle of that kitchen counter. Now these holes here, there's two of these plates, one on either side of the upright that we're casting, and you'll put a piece of 1/2 inch blue plastic pipe, because the blue's cheaper than the orange by about 35% for some reason. Anyway, that's the same as when we pour concrete walls with slip forms, and Texas Filipino builds with concrete. We put these blue, he uses any color he can get. I use blue now. I used to use orange till I found out they were more expensive. But the pipes are in the concrete when you peel the sides off. Then you can knock them out or not, and that'll give you a place to run rebars through or set something on. But you have to put the pipes in there for the spacers. You clamp these plates together with these, all of them, the bottom piece, if it had this trapezoidal piece, they would all look just like this. And if not, we only use this on a couple. So basically you have a bottom board stuck to your side plate, and this back piece. If you don't need to cut out in the back, you flip this over and the trapezoid is on the outside. I don't know if we have an example of that real quick. Well, that's this one. Here's one where we have none on the bottom. We have got none on the toe kick side, so this one's flipped over also. So you're casting just a rectangular piece on that one. You'll notice that on these, part number 13, lucky 13. The 1,692 cubic inches of concrete, that's 0.98 cubic feet. Okay, one bag of Portland cement and the rock and the sand makes 5 cubic feet of house. So what they're going to do is they're going to select which part numbers they want to pour, so that they come out to like 4.9 cubic feet, or 9.9, or 14.9. You know, 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags. All these. An example. Okay. This goes in the pantry, in some kind of a shelf and storage cabinet in the pantry. It says down here, 3 are required. The numbers on the drawing, which we're not going to get into that today, but there's drawings for all these cabinets assembled and the room they go in, and locator numbers on them. So this particular pantry shelf uses 32, 33, and 34 of this size. And there'll be end places that haven't got the back cut out because you don't want an end showing on your cab. That's the dog could climb into. There's 35, 33, and 37, 38, and 39 farther down. For instance, this is for the laundry sink. And we have 4 different widths. If there was more than one piece, it would be in the call out. See, the width on this one is 31.41 centimeters times 2 pieces. Oh, this is what our kitchen counter looks like. It's got a soak sink, a wash sink, and a rinse sink. And the dishwasher would be on the right. The next picture up here is the cutouts that are in that countertop. And the reason they're long like this is because we're using those gas burners like the street vendors have, cast iron burners. And we've set stainless steel pots down in the concrete to make this opening. And you have 3 gas valves. So in actuality, what we did was we put 2 pots. This is an early drawing. See, it still got the Frankel sinks in it. We went with the round sinks since this drawing was done. But that's your gas valves are here. The blue hole is the air intake, goes down into the cabinets underneath. And then there's since this is now a smaller round pot, you have a lid that covers up the valves and keeps the trash out of there. And the burner sits on down in this well inside of what was actually a stainless pot. We bought some without a lid for this. And we got a fire brick sits in the bottom down there, and it sits on top of it. Fire brick just to raise it up to the right height and give us air circulation. Oh, why we're on this drawing. Okay, this is going to be for this chunk over here. It's 28.8657 centimeters. Now, nobody can measure to 4 decimal places with a measuring tape. But if you design in inches and you have a 4 decimal number here, there's very few people that know their 16ths or the 30-seconds in decimal. And definitely none of our people. None of the people that work in the Philippines work with decimals, fractional decimals. So what we have here is we have 28 full centimeters, and the next mark, graduation mark on a centimeter tape, is 1/10 of a centimeter. So what they're going to do is make this 28.9. And that'll get you within a millimeter of a size. Really easy. So we gain accuracy by just going with the flow. We're just going to have to become Filipino, which is all right. And this is part numbers 50. It's really only 4 inches wide because this is an older drawing. This drawing's 2 years old. It just happens to be the one I opened up to make those supports on, because it had all the counter supports, how wide they were. I could just go over here and pull these numbers off of it and draw the things without having to copy and delete a bunch of stuff and have another drawing with even more megabits of storage. I only got 11 terabytes to store stuff on. I mean, 3 lifetimes worth, I guess. Okay, anyway, these are the numbers of those parts. These are the links. Next door is the pantry. And all these cabinets, a lot of them have an upper door on them. This one's got 1, not shown here, but 2. There's the width of it. 3, 4 uprights. There's another one down here off screen. Still off screen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 of them are the same width. Now these doors, they're hinged out here in the front. So you can swing this door open, and then you can swing that door open. And these will fold clear flat against the whatever's on beside them. If you open this up, what you have here is counter space. Because when those doors open, all the storage in those doors is now facing out because it's on the inside here. So when they turn them around, you have all your canned goods, spaghetti sauce, whatever's in it, is out here in the open on both sides. And you got a piece of counter space. And then this room is the 110 volt room, toroidal transformer on the solar makes 110. Pretty efficiently, actually. There's only a change in flux when AC changes direction. So, and that's what makes your standby losses. So, the 110 volt room, she has I don't know how many kitchen appliances. It's a hobby. They all go in here and in this one room. So you can drag them out, and if you want to close these cabinet doors when you're done, you have got to put the stuff away. I don't know if that's going to work, but that's what we're trying. The middle of the room, 28.3 centimeters from anything. That's not a great deal, but it's enough. Because this is storage mostly. What you got here is these X's of shelves that come up from the floor. This is 8 feet high. Plastic bins fit in these 4 things, and there's a floor in the middle so you can put stuff on it, but you can't slide it in and out because the bins are only this outside part. But that's an X-shaped storage. This is the pantry doors. You can go out to the driveway right outside, drag in canned goods or whatever you bought. This is still showing rectangular sinks. This is just for stuff you bring in you want to rinse off if you're not sure that it's clean. Master bathroom. And see, there's some of these counter things underneath of this. There's a bunch of them under here, under this. This is a sitting bench in the shower. This is in inches. And that last one, that 28 inches walking space was in inches. Centimeters. So this, the front of the sitting bench to the wall was 44 inches and 44 and a quarter. And this is 6 foot 1 inch wide. That's the shower stall. And a later revision of this toilet is here. This has changed. This is a bathtub now. But the concrete of the walls, that stays the same. The door swings stay the same. The physical shape of the room stays the same. Only the way it's outfitted changed. Well, this video is way too damn long. This is getting into another thing. We're gonna end this. In fact, I have probably already decided to break it in 2. So you're looking at the end of part 2, and because it's so long, we're going to do a part 3 in just a minute. So see you in a few minutes.